some more. Let's get into that.
Gosh.
Oh man, we'll get into that. Let me just kick off the Pagey train, and welcome to the Pagey train. Today I have in the studio with me DK Bondad, who is a creative producer and writer. Welcome to the show, Daryl.
Thank you, Ross. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me on your show, on your podcast.
Yeah, man. You've been on my hit list for a while, actually. Everyone, basically, if you've been in Made in the West, you're on my hit list, just letting you know. Yeah, because we've known each other for some time. Like, it's actually been a while now. You're one of the strange few that I have not met over beer.
Oh.
You're unique.
Interesting.
You're unique on the Pagey train.
Well, I don't drink alcohol anymore, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, but it might be a case of me drinking, still running into you, right? But where did we meet at university?
Yes, at TVS, I'm pretty certain.
Was it Television Sydney?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, what? Yeah, okay.
On the Y Generation, I'm pretty certain.
Oh, right, that's right. I think I was a floor manager or something on that show. I can't remember.
Yeah, you must have been a floor manager.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, some good stuff coming out of the Y Generation, actually. Big shout out to Chloe. She's on. She ended up going to Channel 10 and then Sky News. Has her own podcast herself, actually.
Oh, excellent.
But yeah, I remember. I miss TVS. I really miss it. That was such a cool job. Didn't pay a lot, but man, it was fun. I really enjoyed that space. Get to work with everyone. You get to do everything. Work on shows. Do broadcasting. It was a lot of fun. It was a real lot of fun. It's a shame it went down. Yeah, we were talking off air before. You're not working at the moment. Yeah,
so I'm no longer at my day job. I'm focusing full time on my screenplay. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you don't have to let anything go about the screenplay.
Yeah.
But what's your how long have you been working on that for? Is it just since COVID or?
It's a bit of a, if I can turn this very long story short.
No, go the long story.
Okay, so when I was 16, I had this, I drew this image on a piece of paper, on an A4 piece of paper, and it's two men and two women, almost colliding in a supermarket,
mm-hmm.
and they know each other or something,
mm-hmm.
and that moment marks the end of this sequence that takes place in a supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, how can I write a story around this meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they know each other, but it's just one of those moments in movies where it's two sets of people crossing paths and they know each other, and it's this big moment in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had that image, that piece of paper, somewhere in my room, and then I put that on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to uni, and then so and so. And so when I was 22 or 23, I was I'm gonna start writing my first script. And it was this current script I'm working on. This is not that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I worked on my first script, and I completed that in about 10 or 11 months. It's a feature film script. It's called Breaks. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think. But when I look back on it, it's pretty cringeworthy.
But it's your first work, though. Yeah. You're gonna get that with your first work, right?
Yeah. And then this current one, it's a romantic comedy.
Mm.
And I've been working on this for a while now, mid 2018, I would say.
Yeah, okay.
Until today, right now in July 2020. So it's been a while.
Well, what's your process? Are you a blinking cursor man, or do you tend to map out? Do you map out your story, or do you just go finger to keyboard and go for it?
It's so out of those three options, the last two.
Okay.
I'm not a kind of thing when I'm at my laptop. I'm just I like to map out and use index cards as any aspiring screenwriter does.
Mm-hmm.
I use index cards every 3 or 4 months, kind of look at the story from a big picture point of view and be okay, does this make sense? Are these scenes necessary?
Mm.
And I do that process, the index cards process.
Mm.
And I'll also go to there's this Facebook group. You're probably in it, the screenwriting group.
Yes.
There's 70,000 members in there, and
mm-hmm.
it's really great because everyone gives such great feedback, and everyone is sharing feedback. People post screenshots of their own scripts and
mm-hmm.
pages, and people are just giving advice, and it's such a great community. Really grateful for that community, because it's screenplay centric.
Yeah.
Everyone's there like, oh, third act problems, or I feel like my character's not doing this, and it's really relatable too to be on a forum like that where everyone has the same
problems, same desires.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, you're not alone in this, So you have people to help you out. But I also I'll just go on a whim and just start writing, on the train, on the commute, like cafes, at home, like anywhere. I'll find a way to get my thoughts down and write. And then, like a year and a half later, I'll be like, why did I write this? Like, I have like all these deleted scenes, like a lot of deleted scenes in my current script, and it's like at least 156 pages worth of deleted scenes.
Oh wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I just bumped this.
Man, okay, so let me time that. Okay, so that was a good 7 minutes. Oh, I think you're coming fourth. Fourth in the mic bump sweepstakes.
Oh dear.
Yeah, 1 minute is the record.
I'm cancelled.
Cancel culture through mic bumps. No, I think you'll be fine, Daryl.
And initially I was like, why do I have all these deleted scenes? And then I read this quote from, I'm 90% certain it was from Martin Scorsese, and he said, what you omit from the story or from the screenplay is just as important as what you include. And so, okay, it's good that I have 156 pages worth of deleted scenes, because now I know what not to put in the movie. I think that's really, really important.
I think it is important. That's important, but I think as well, like going through that journey is important. Like knowing what you like and what you dislike, and getting that craft down. Because putting fingers to keyboard can be challenging. You've got to find time. You've got to find spaces. And then sometimes when I guess it's where we get precious, right? Where we've written it down, we're like, but I spent time on that. I want to keep it. But if it sticks out, it sticks out. But, we'd all like to be writing, everything that we write goes to screen. But that's just not how it works, I don't think. I've written so many stories that I just haven't done. I've written a lot of them, actually. Some of them are like very sparse, like they're just a scaffolding of a story, and I've just left them at that because I go, I don't feel buzzed about that anymore. I've got another idea that I'm working on. But I think there's generally about 3 short stories that I'm working on at a time, and at least a song. Always writing a song at the same time, so always writing. But even in the band, for instance, we would write, for instance, 20 songs, but we'll only play 7 of them. Because you won't keep all that material. It just doesn't gel. It doesn't always gel. Like, it sounds good at the time, but it doesn't... When you get to when it comes to fruition, you just... it's not that good. It doesn't have legs. So sometimes you've got to be honest about it, I think.
Yeah, being honest about it, and confronting your own script and your own work, because you think to yourself, I did not spend all this time working on this, and then to have it put on the back burner, or to just lose my passion about it. But if you lose your passion for the project, that's just how it is. You move on to the next project that lights you up. Well,
I think sometimes you need to stick with something as well. Not to say that you just abandon your baby when you get a bit tired, but I think going back to cue cards, I've got a whole bunch of palm cards that I use. I use blue and the yellow ones? Vanilla type. Anyway, the yellow,
like beige. No.
Yeah, like beige. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do the beige cards, and I do the blue cards. And the blue cards I'll have for characters and different things like that. But I'll also do like the plot lines on the yellow cards, and then I'll just write what a scene is, and then I'll do it like a Tetris game. Go, well, that scene can actually be at this point of the story. It doesn't need to be at this point, because I got to a point where kind of the same thing actually. You would write down all these ideas, and then you would scrap an idea, and then you would go along in your story again. You go, actually, I wish I had that idea back. That actually fits into here. And by doing on palm cards, I find I have the discarded pile. So the idea is still alive. It's just not in the main body at the moment. And sometimes it can be recalled into the main pile. But I have several stories that are written this way. I've got them in that cabinet, actually. I've got like several stacks of different stories that I've written. But the fun part for me is populating those stories with dialogue, writing dialogue, is addictive. Once you are on a flow of dialogue, it's very addictive. Would you share the same thing? Or?
Yeah, especially when you know the character inside and out. When you know the character's dreams, hopes, emotions, fears, aspirations, insecurities. When you know the character inside and out, and you can feel like you can not like be like at a pub and have a drink with them, but if you can actually feel yourself like inside of them and walk around in their shoes and footsteps, I think that's when when you're writing dialogue, it's so effortless. It's unbelievable, and you tap into that deep workflow where you get this like euphoric feeling, like, oh my god, like I want to keep writing, but I've been up all night, but I really like this character and I want to keep writing, and it's almost like, well, you're spitting out things that you think they might say, but you're also like, think of it this way: when you write a character's dialogue, you're also thinking of what they're not going to say, because when people have a conversations, sometimes they're going to repress certain things.
Yeah, they're going to hold back. Yeah,
and I have this motto that I read online maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. You don't treat your characters like characters, treat them like people. So,
that's very wise.
Yeah, like don't write characters, write people. So obviously they're going to be holding back certain things. But then their movements, their behaviors will say another thing, and that's the humanity coming through. Yeah,
I really get down on that sort of stuff. The hard work is sometimes writing action. When I'm writing action sequences, especially fight scenes, I find them difficult. But when I do dialogue, I absolutely love doing dialogue. Like I have a synesthetic experience when I write dialogue. I feel it in my hands. Like I can actually feel, it's a strange, bizarre feeling. I feel words when they're leaving me. I feel them. Same with editing. I feel the same thing. I feel pictures in my hands. It's a bizarre thing to explain. But I also, when I do dialogue, I can hear the character that I'm writing, and then I can picture where they are. And that feeling of running those senses together while writing is just an absolute buzz. I love getting to that point, but it's so hard to get to that point. You really got to work to get there.
Yeah. You really need to get through. You need to be dragged through mud, and you need to get through the shit in order to get to that moment. Because it's a very precious moment, and every writer knows this. Yeah, I
really have that. It's the same with. I had the same experience when I write lyrics, because with lyrics it's reactionary, because you'll be given a guitar line and a drum line, and you just basically you need to fill in spaces or react with spaces, or synchronize with spaces, or be asynchronous with spaces, and you've got to make these unusual choices, and how I frame my voice and how I perform that. That is the same thing. I find that's the same sort of buzz, but it's in more of an audio sense rather than a visual one. When I'm writing, it's a very visual experience. When
you mean spaces, because I'm not like an audiophile, but do you mean spaces as in like the gaps in the song?
Yeah. So if there was peaks to the song, then you go, well, if they're peak, well, they call it the root note. You can, when you do music, you can pick to be on the root note or pick to be off the root note. So you can follow the guitar.
What's a root note?
The root note. The main tune of the song. So there's usually a tune in a song. Yeah. And as a vocalist, you can choose to be with that tune or oppose that tune.
Okay.
So you're filling space. Either which way you can run in parallel, or you can run asynchronously. So
that's cool.
It's like when you do asynchronous sort of stuff, it's like call response. So they call, you respond. You call, they respond. But when you do it off the root note, you do it in unison, and you can do that through a song. And you can choose to be on the root note, and then halfway through into a chorus or a verse, and then you can switch over again, and that's where it gets really funky, because then you can get into new territory. But I have a similar buzz when I do that versus writing dialogue. They're very similar things. But I don't know. There's a few buzzes I get out of filmmaking and performing. I think to make another strange comparison, I would look at doing Foley, very much like performing. It's very much a performance when you do Foley, but it's a technical performance, and it's a performance for the ear. So it's a physical, spatial thing that becomes a stereo or 5-channel sound thing. And I really, the nerd in me explodes when that happens. I go, that's just so awesome. And doing a performance on stage is the same thing. You've got to have presence. It's about having presence, and playing to whatever that role is. For instance, when you're doing Foley, you might have an aggressive drunk that is tearing through your lounge room like a bull in a china shop, and you've got to create all of those sounds, and you have to become that drunk that's smashing things through the lounge room. But you're doing it piece by piece, and then you put it all together and create a soundscape. Or you could be writing a song that's about that. A drunken and bull in a china shop, and you can perform that on stage. I find there's a relationship between those two things for me as well. I find the crossovers in these things in my life are quite strange, because I come across them in the weirdest ways. Like for instance, when I was in the military, right, you would take a shot from a rifle, but then I became a filmmaker, and you take a shot from a camera, and the terminology is the same. On a set you'll call action, but you could be in the theatre of battle, right? So they all of these terms are very similar, and I just find strange crossovers. I think I was talking about this a couple of podcasts ago. There's an intersection of art and warfare in a really strange way. Wow, we're really digressing here. We've gone from script writing to warfare. So
art and warfare, like there's a
causality. There's a causality with art and warfare. If you go back to when they used to put, back in the ye old days where they would march troops on a battlefield, they would do it to music. They would play a drum to conduct orders, to move people around. So if you heard a drum beat, you knew it was a certain order to create a certain formation. And these formations are called drill, right? When the military marches, they call it drill. But drill is written from ballet. Because ballet can be written as a language, just like music can be written as a language. You've got 5 lines, 5 bars. No, they're bars.
Yeah, those lines.
Those lines. Yeah. My band is going to bust my balls over that one.
Every bad cow eats grass or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Every bad cow. Yeah. The note lines. And the same can be done with ballet, because doing a pirouette can be written on paper, and then you can recognise that simple as a pirouette. So cool. And that's what the military did. They adapted ballet to form troops on the battlefield. But then fast forward a few 100 years later, you look at camouflage, for instance. Camouflage is cubism, comes from Picasso. Picasso was the first person to paint a cannon, multiple colours. They also come up with ships, and they painted irregular shapes on ships, so you couldn't tell which way it was going on the ocean, so you couldn't torpedo it. Because if you can anticipate where a ship's going, you can go launch that torpedo, and then they meet, right? Well, it took away that calculation during World War I.
That's really clever.
But they would hire artists to paint these ships. So the arts industry is actually being heavily employed during times of war, and you wouldn't think that.
You wouldn't. No,
you'd think the opposite, right? But these strange intersections, like for instance, film production itself. The word film production comes from the propaganda machine out of during out of Russia and the Third Reich.
Oh, like Joseph Goebbels.
This guy was someone who's like, well. We need to use light in a certain way to make the boss look amazing, so that we can show that to the people. And they use that as a brainwashing technique to, convince people to be on their side and convince them that they were doing the right thing. And they got away with all kinds of crazy things. They were a murderous mob that took over Europe. And one of their weapons to do this was cinematography. Well, that's a terrible thing, but that's why the terminology in filmmaking is very similar to the military, because that's where it comes from. Like when you load a film camera, it's loaded with a magazine.
Magazine, that's right.
And a magazine goes on a rifle. So the terminology is actually adapted out of the propaganda machine of World War II. So there's massive intersections of art and war.
Wow, it's mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing, isn't it? Because when you start going into this rabbit hole, you're like...
Yeah, when you go in the rabbit hole, it's like...
Far out! I did not know that. And when you go into that, you just find these corrals of strange knowledge. And if you look at, for instance, even like, I know these are terrible thoughts though. You have these thoughts, you go, this is terrible.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like, I don't think Picasso would ever have wanted.
No, I don't think it was the first thing on his priority list. No.
Yeah, I don't think the people that were doing ballet wanted that either. But I, the thing that I do take away from it, and this is the thing I like about it, like the Wright brothers, because there's this perception out there that technology advances during war. And you know what I mean? Like the aviation industry picks up.
Industrial Revolution.
But I don't believe that. I just don't believe it. I think that art comes first. I really believe that. I think that the Wright brothers learnt how to fly not in a time of war. They dreamed of people flying, and they made it happen. And they made it happen on very little resources, and they had to have artistic thinking and engineering thinking and how to make that happen. That came before the fighter jet. You know what I mean? I think it's not... Yeah, I think war will take, the military-industrial complex will take from wherever it can to build its machine. But I would argue that the arts movement happens before war does. We painted in caves before we started stabbing each other. You know what I mean? I would like to... If I was to give a message to anyone, I would like to say, creation happens... from creative people doing creative things. It doesn't happen from nefarious people doing nasty things. I just don't think humans are... We're not built that way. We're just not built that way. Man, we got really deep there, didn't I?
Yeah, like I guess with the Wright brothers, they... Like, if... Obviously, like, you'd have to... Okay, so they were basing it on several things that were in flight already. So there was the hot air balloon. But then they had to figure out, okay, how can we create a machine, like create the word create, how can we create a machine that's built and designed in a certain way so that it can carry multiple people and can fly in as opposed to like whatever,
and be controlled,
be controlled. And then they I mean, you said art. I mean, they must have looked at birds, and they drew birds, and they deconstructed birds' wings, and they drew the pictures, and you need to look at birds' wings like a drawing and use your imagination to be like, okay, how can we apply this to like metal and industrial materials? How can we apply the physics and the science of birds' wings and put that into, machines? And like, that takes incredible imagination.
Yeah, it takes an artistic flair to do something like that. I think even when you look into the fields of science even, that you need, I think there has been a few studies out there actually showing that they're making scientists too scientific. They're now starting to get scientists to do arts courses to expand their horizons. Because if you look at... you go back to the classics, Isaac Newton, Einstein, they're not just mathematicians, they're also artistic thinkers. And even if you look at Stephen Hawking's, an artistic thinker. He obviously, with him though, he was someone that was disabled and was stuck in a chair and had a lot of time to think. Right, obviously had a lot of time to think, to put things together, even though he had come up with a lot of those theories before his condition. But again, though, a visual thinker. Einstein was a visual thinker, and there is massive. I see a massive crossover between those two fields as well. And you could argue as well, like some scientists are driven to do terrible things as well, like splitting. Einstein's linked to the splitting of the atom. There is the mathematics that he come up with was mathematics of ballistics, of running radioactive material into each other at the right shape, at the right velocity to crack the atom, right? That was his mathematics that did that for the Philadelphia project, I think it is.
Oh, I thought it was I could be completely wrong here. I think it was the Manhattan Project.
Manhattan Project,
yeah.
Yes. Man.
And I was like, wait, did people think that he had something to do with like Hiroshima? But people were like, no.
No, he was to do with the guys that were thinking about... Well, it was a race, because the Germans were going for it. I don't think the Russians were in the race, actually. I think it was just the Germans and the States that were trying to construct a nuclear weapon. And obviously the States did that. That would, like, we're going way off topic here, but let's continue down the rabbit hole. There was a dude called, it was President Truman, right? Right, after World War II, and he would say things like to because the Russians hadn't had the bomb yet, and it was Truman. They say that it was Truman that started the Cold War.
No.
Yeah, because he had nuclear weapons, right? Imagine you're the only country with nuclear weapons. You would throw your weight around a little bit, wouldn't you? You're like, they would have a conflict, economic conflict or a political conflict with Russia, and he would just get on the phone and say, "We'll drop it on you," and installing that fear. Created that race.
Yeah,
but
the berserk button, I think it was the name of it. It's where you're like your fingers hovering over the button, the nuclear missile button, but it's like. You threaten, but you're just trying to instill that fear. You're trying to instill that fear in the enemy, but you're not actually going to press the button. Yeah, but it's what they called mutually assured destruction. Mutually assured destruction. That's what they call it. So if the States launch their shit, the Russia will launch their shit. China will launch their shit, and basically they have mutually assured destruction. Because we're all in this together. Yeah. If someone launches, goodness. But that's the thing. Because if one person launches, that means everyone launches. So it's just they even built a clock, right? You ever heard the Doomsday Clock? Yes, I've heard of the Doomsday Clock. Yeah, during the Bay of Pigs, I think it was, the Doomsday Clock got to 5 minutes to 12. If it gets to 12, it's the end of the world. Oh, whoops. Yeah. But a scientist come up with that. A mathematician come up with that. We need to come up with a Doomsday Clock to show people that there's something to be scared of. And yeah, nuclear war is scary, but as in the words of Austin Powers, so are carnies. So I'm not scared of carnies. If you work at a carnival, I'm not scared. I actually like going to the carnival. Carnival's cool. I think clowns are underrated. They're just trying to entertain people. They just want to entertain and make balloons. But clowns have a bad rap, man. They have a bad rap. But there's been a few bad operators though. You got what's his name? Gacy, who was a serial killer. John Wayne Gacy was a serial killer, and then you've got it. Right, Pennywise. Yeah. Only Krusty can save us. Yeah, Krusty can save us. I don't know if this is true though. I heard once that Krusty is actually Homer Simpson in a clown suit. What? Yeah. Is that like a fan theory? Yeah, because if you look at Krusty, remove the clown outfit, it's Homer Simpson. Do you mean like they're never on screen together at the same time? Or no. Well, I think no. From the writer's perspective. Oh, from the writer's perspective. They invented Krusty the Clown, who has an alternative personality for Homer Simpson, but they never in the show connected it. Well, except there is one episode where Homer trains to be a clown. There is one episode that he does that. Yeah. I need to watch that episode again. I don't know. The Simpsons is right onto that pop culture nerve though. Like I grew up on it. I was Bart Simpson's age when Bart Simpson was a thing. You mean like when the character skyrocketed in popularity? Yeah. It was 1988, right? And I was in year 4. And Simpsons roasting over an open fire. I think that was the first episode. Yeah, no, the first one I saw was the psychological one with Dr. Marvin Monroe, and they electrocute each other. Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah. See, we're generationally different, right? So that's the first episode. Right, yeah. Because I remember Bart Simpson, he had a blue shirt in like the first season or something. Yeah. And then they changed to orange because I don't know. I used to be able to do Bart Simpson's voice. Oh. Yeah. I was really... No, I was about to say I was really popular at school, but that's just not true. To get out of being bullied, I'd make people laugh. And one way I do that is Bart Simpson's voice. Because I go, oh, wow, he talks like, do the Bart Simpson thing, man. Do the Bart Simpson. Well, it's hard for people to pick on you when you're making them laugh. Yeah. It's hard to be bullied. It didn't mean it didn't happen. Clearly, someone who gets into editing at 3 a.m. in the morning might have been picked on at school. But not all the time. It wasn't that bad. I thought it was bad at the time. I look back and go, there's way worse things. Yeah, there's like Chernobyl that just happened. Yeah. There's Fukushima. Don't buy fish from Fukushima. It's probably bad for you. Yeah. Right, the Fukushima power plant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's like Chernobyl, but like times 10.
Oh,
But we played it down.
yeah. I thought the media would be like all over that crap.
No, if you could look at photos, man, that thing went nuclear. It blew up. Like, you can see the mushroom cloud coming out of it. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was really bad. That was after that terrible earthquake, I think, and then there was the tsunami.
Yes, the Japan earthquake. That was like the late 80s.
No, this is like...
Or was it like 95 or something?
No. It would have been around 2013, I think.
Oh.
Where the Fukushima incident happened. There was the Fukushima, and then there was that before that. There was the one that I try to pronounce because I'm a bit of a rock hound. I love geology. Was the Wonderfluka volcano erupted, and they had to stop all the planes. No planes could fly around the world. Remember that? They stopped all the planes.
Was that
Couldn't
in
fly
like Norway or Iceland or something?
Iceland, yeah.
That's right. Oh yeah.
It was around that time.
Yeah.
That's when it happened. Because I think those geological events are linked. Because volcano erupting and earthquake, the big ring of fire and whatnot. Yeah. Mr. Reed, if you're out there,
Ring of fire.
Well, no. I'll just shouting out to my geology teacher, Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all the drinking and the problems I caused you on school excursions. But I like Jenolan Caves. That was pretty cool. So back to screenwriting. So are you near the completion of your scripts, or?
Yes, because I gave myself a 90-day so I got this journal for like habits and whatever, and it gives you like a 90-day deadline for a chosen goal, and so my deadline ends in mid-August. So by the time it's mid-August, I'll have my first draft, even though it's like emotionally my fifth draft.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, but it's physically your first draft.
It's physically my first draft. Yeah,
but as it started as an idea in you.
Yeah. So
I get that.
so today's July 31st. So it's about 2 weeks until it's done, and then
fuck.
Put it away, and then focus on something else, and then come back to it with a fresh mind.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh man, it sounds like you've been on a massive journey with this. It's good for the soul though.
Yeah, but
But how often do you cry on a Friday night?
Every night? No.
It's normally Thursdays actually, Ross.
I'm so grateful and blessed to have been on this journey, and it's bittersweet because when you finish the first draft of a script, you suddenly think back to yesterday when you were in the midst of writing it, and it's like you're never gonna get that experience ever again. To be in the moment writing it, as opposed to like a past tense, like I just wrote it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
And I think
it's part of that buzz.
I take it for granted every time I smash out like 4 hours worth of writing on a certain day, and then the next day it's like 90 minutes, and then before you know it, it's done. The first draft is done, and then you're like, holy crap, it's finished. I want to go back to it, because you miss these characters. You've been with them for so long, and you've seen them evolve, because the way you've imagined the story has evolved. So these characters have evolved in front of you. It's like they've emotionally and spiritually grown up in front of you. I mean, you are in charge of their destinies and their fates, so it's like a big responsibility to these people that you're writing. But it's bittersweet when you finish a script after so long.
But this is for film though, yeah? This is to make a film?
Yeah, it's I guess my debut film, my first feature.
Okay.
I'm really, really passionate about this one, so I really want to get it made.
Well, you got to rally the wagons.
Yeah.
We've got between me and you, we know that people get this done.
It's an uphill battle. I had this massive reality check. I think it was like last year.
That's the first one. We've never had an earphone bump. That's a good one.
Oh, I'm just breaking all these government regulations and all these like laws. I'm surprised Gladys Berejiklian doesn't come in here and start fining me for everything.
Don't bring bringing up notions like that. That's crazy. Like, maybe we'll have to wear a mask on the podcast at some point. I don't know.
She's like, Daryl, stop destroying the equipment. We're gonna drag you to the Star Casino and make you do some pokies.
Yeah, we're gonna make you gamble until you learn your lesson, son. Would she say that? Would you say son? Would Paratriclian say that?
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, it's our fantasy world. We can do anything we want.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Hey, but just to change topics as well, you've been doing a bit of content to help people lately with their creative endeavours.
Yes, on YouTube.
Yeah, because you had Why Everybody Needs an Outlet, and embarking on that major project. What's fueled you to do that?
Oh, well, I just because these past few years I've been learning Premiere and just refining my skills and and like for me, like being on camera or just being, I guess, on a stage or like just being on camera, I find it very natural. And so I thought, okay, how can I utilize what I enjoy doing or what I'm good at into something that can help people. And so I thought, okay, let's just shoot a few pizza cameras, a few I guess helping guides, whatever.
Yeah, you do the helping guide sort of stuff and a bit of the skit sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, I try to incorporate that.
Yeah. I think you do a good job. I think it's really cool.
So I don't mind, looking ridiculous on camera, and I thought, just put that as B-roll, make it relevant, and then summarize the video at the end, because like it's one thing to produce a video, but it's another to be like, okay, this is entertaining, but is it going to inspire others? Is it going to be helpful to someone else? Yeah. So that's for me, my I guess my purpose for producing these is to help others. Ultimately, that's to entertain, but I also want to help them. I want to produce a video and be like, you have a certain amount of time in your day, and I know people get tired at the end of the day, so I want to give you as much value and content and helpful information in a digestible 10-minute piece, and that you can use and apply to your own life. So that's No,
I think you do a great job at it. I think what was the motto of because we can find you on DK Bondad on YouTube, so we just type in
just write DK and Bondad.
And don't forget to go and subscribe, obviously, to DK Bondad.
Like, share, and subscribe.
And don't forget to hit the notifications button. That notifications button is what gets us off, baby. Just to keep hitting that button. Enjoy, learn, grow. I really like that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
When I was, I wasn't Facebook stalking you. I think I was YouTube stalking you at the time, and I come across your motto, and that was enjoy, learn, grow. And I think that's absolutely lovely.
Yeah, it's simple. It gets to the point. Doesn't beat around the bush. Enjoy, learn, grow. I want you to enjoy this video. I want you to learn a few things. You might already know some of the content, like it's familiar to you, but it's good to just be reminded of these things and then grow. Hopefully it grows your career. Hopefully it grows your personal life. Hopefully it grows your friendships, how you interact with others. Hopefully it grows. You grow as a person. Hopefully you grow as a filmmaker. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should keep doing it, man. Whatever the future is for us. Like, I think the Pentagon, come out recently and said they're going to start talking about the alien crafts that they found.
Yeah, I know. All that footage that was released.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, right?
They're basically admitting that they exist.
Yeah, they admit that they exist, and there's this phenomena out there that they can't explain, or maybe they can explain. I don't know. They haven't released it. It was in the New York Times of all places. Yeah, like this. I thought it was an Onion article. When I read it, I was like, this is bullshit. Yeah. This is an Onion article. Someone's having me on.
The New York Times.
It was New York Times that wrote the article.
Serious. Okay.
Yeah, and then there was on Fox. But how much can you... Okay, all right. Let me just zoom out for a second. I know I've just used these as canon literature here, saying that these people tell the truth, and I just want to zoom out from that. But they do have a little bit of credibility. I'm not saying they're fully credible, but they have a little bit of credibility, and if it's in the New York Times and it's released as a press release from the Pentagon about alien crafts existing, COVID, stop and move over. There's fucking aliens here, man. So, I just think after all of these crazy things, like we're going through COVID, we may need to surrender to our overlords that are about to take over the planet. I'm just saying, keep making those clips. They're really helpful.
Yeah, I want to keep producing videos. I've put them on the back burner because I've just singular focus on this script. So I've put that YouTube thing on the back burner, but I'll come back to it. After August.
I think they're really cool, man. I think they're really helpful, and people will dig it. I think you're on the right track. You just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's what we all got to do, right? We just got to keep doing it.
Yeah, and consistent hard work. I think that's so important. That's very underrated. Consistent hard work.
Yeah, but everyone wants to go out there and be a CEO and a manager and a...
Yeah. Of course. Like, some people just want to live the simple life, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Like, if they want to, like, you don't have to go out and, be a billionaire or be the head of a company, but... Just as long as you do right by others, and you have good intentions, I think that's
good intentions and hard work. I think you're absolutely onto it there. That's if I was to have a motto, maybe I should adopt that.
Well, everyone has different mottos and everyone has different slogans.
What's my one on Facebook? Oh yeah,
what's yours anyway?
My one on Facebook, I've got several of them because of the business but my personal one on Facebook is a loving heart is the key to all knowledge.
Oh, that's really nice.
Because I think that if you're open, you're open to information. So a loving heart is the key to knowledge. Still Searching's motto is, I've got two mottos for Still Searching Productions. One is searching for the perfect still. So looking for that perfect moment. And the other one, this is more of a Made in the West one, but a Still Searching one is it's sort of both. And that is changing the world one edit at a time.
One editor?
One edit at a time.
That's really nice.
Yeah, because you know what I mean? Like when you edit, you might drop something on a timeline, you then might add effect, you then might like pull the sound up, pull the sound down, pull the sound up, put in a cue point, create a keyframe, whatever you're doing. Yeah, but when you
add in all these edits and they accumulate, it makes a huge difference. Like
but every little edit makes a difference, and I guess that's what I try to mean through that. Changing the world one edit at a time.
That's really, really awesome.
Yeah,
like because you've thought about it like on a global level. It's like.
Yeah,
because your films like they're online for the entire world to see, so obviously you need to have that kind of resonating message.
Well, we were doing sort of community films as well, like doing films to promote awareness for homeless people, and other minority groups that are doing it tough. We've done films like that, but don't get me wrong, I like doing the gangster films where there's debaucherous things going on. I really enjoy that too. But I think just being a dude that fell ass backwards into running a film festival. That was just with good intention. You just want to make things better, and I think real big believer in the tide will raise all ships. I really believe in that, and I think that's what I just resonate with what you say.
I love that because like when. I can imagine you at the beginning of building, the Made in the West Film Festival. You had an idea, and then you thought to yourself, this has a possibility to really change things around, or because there's a lot of like emerging filmmakers and artists and actors and production crew in Western Sydney, and who want to have a platform to have a film festival where their films get screened, and then they have these audiences who get to watch them, and like a typical movie theater, we all feel the same thing. We all have that shared experience sitting down in these seats watching these films made by us. And
it's a buzz, man.
It's amazing. Like,
it's absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Because I've entered Made in the West. This is a weird story, right? It's it's hard to get into. Sometimes I've entered about 10 times to Made in the West.
10 times
personally. Right, and I've only ever gotten in 3 times.
Oh, what?
Well, I know, because you'd say, "Well, Ross, you run Made in the West. Surely you got your film in, right?" But that's not how it works. I keep a separation of powers. It has to. If I make a film, it has to honestly get in. It has to be real. If it's not real, what's the point?
You got in 3 times. That's pretty great.
Yeah. I was a finalist 3 times in 3 different films for 3 different jobs for 3 different reasons.
3 very different projects. I can imagine.
Totally different projects. Totally. But if I go back to early Made in the West before there were awards, I had obviously had my films in then, but there was a couple of years where I wanted to make sure that everything was right. So I didn't enter my own content to Made in the West. And I got stuck in this strange conundrum. Like, created this platform that's really awesome, and I'm the only person who can't access it because I created it. So then I thought, no, I can create. Then I started to zoom out from that, and I go, but I should be able to enter this festival. It's our festival.
You have just as much of a right as anyone else.
That's right. Like, I'm a filmmaker like everyone else, and I go, well, I want to film in there. And usually during Made in the West, I'm so busy.
I want to be one of the boys. I want to...
That's it. I want to be in. I want to be in on that networking team.
Let me in.
Let me in, you people. No, it's cool though. I've done like soundscapes for people, and edit jobs, camera jobs, but I don't. Yeah, in the last 5 years, nothing I've directed has been in Made in the West. Only stuff that I've been a cinematographer on or been a sound engineer on has been in. But there's this strange feeling like, what if one day I legitimately win Made in the West? What would I do then? I can't actually win it. I can't ever win it.
So... Do you mean like you can't win it, like as if like
no one would believe it?
Oh, no one would believe it.
If I won Made in the West, no
people
one
would think,
"Come on, dude!
Oh, what?
Dude.
This is rigged."
Bullshit. He runs the festival. Like, I don't know, but I'd love to.
I'll be the first one to stand up and be like, "Have you seen his film? He deserved it. He deserved it."
I don't know. I would like to the way I look at it is, if just say I did win Made in the West. I wouldn't tell anyone. I'd let the other one win and just know that I won.
Yeah.
That would be enough for me.
It's like a little secret that only you know.
Yeah, but it's a really hard secret to keep, right? Because I'd have to, because I have, I use aliases in films as well. Do you ever do this? Because I work on so many things, or sometimes I use an alias. I don't use my real name. I use Maurice Wu is my alias for film. So if you ever see Maurice Wu in a short film in Western Sydney, that's me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Do you know why it's Maurice Wu?
No. Is that like a what is it, an anagram? No.
No, it's from a song.
It's I don't know, it's from Silverchair. I don't know.
No, it's not Silverchair. I don't actually know the name of the band. It's some people call me a space cowboy. Some people
Casey Musgraves.
Some people call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice. Woo, woo. Because I'm a toker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight stroker.
It's familiar.
Know the song? I can't remember the name of the song. I know it.
No. Is it in the 90s? Is it 90s
rock?
rock?
No, it's like 70s, man.
Oh.
This is before my time. Yeah.
Oh, I should know.
Yeah, I stole it off The Simpsons anyway. Everything's stolen. If you've ever stolen anything, you're stealing it from The Simpsons. And the irony is that The Simpsons stole it from everyone.
Is it the guy who did Walk on the Wild Side? No.
Maybe. I need a Google guy.
Walk on the Wild Side.
That's why I need a Google guy.
Take a walk on the wild. I don't know.
We need to get over this COVID shit so I can get my Google guy back. I need a Google guy.
We need to. We Aussies, we demand the vaccine right now. We demand the vaccine.
I don't know, man. Not to go too deep into a COVID rabbit hole, but I just don't know what's going to happen. We released a blog for Made in the West yesterday, I can't remember. Talking about, we've just opened for submissions. We're still receiving submissions, but if it all goes pear-shaped, we'll just refund everyone, and no harm, no foul. But we've been in discussions with Event Cinemas, and it looks like we're going to have an event. We'll have a COVID-safe event. And the thing I don't like is that we have to do these measures, these COVID measures, which are draconian in nature. You can only have so many people in a room. Some people got to wear masks in certain parts of places. Got to always wash your hands and, be very hyper-vigilant in hygiene. But the other thing, I don't like that part. That's something that we have to do. We have to do that to be COVID safe, right? To do the right thing. But the thing that I do like is the fact that it's forced our hand into a digital sphere. We're doing a digital version of Made in the West this year. that is running in parallel with the physical event. So if the physical event doesn't happen, we still have the digital event that we're running, right? That's the natural place to go. But we've all been forced to do digital. Like, for instance, I'm working from home. I do most of my meetings on Zoom. I'm working autonomously and still meeting my work objectives. But I haven't been at work. So our industrial relationship is changing. Everything has changed from COVID. Everything.
Yeah. I can imagine all these companies that were never online and now they have to adapt to Zoom meetings, you know, like.
Yeah, no, I've run into a few things because, like, obviously, all of our pretty much all of our revenue has been diminished for Made in the West this year. Pretty much all of it, which is a terrible tragedy. But it's allowed us to grow, and we can see once a vaccine comes out, or a solution, or a treatment, a minimum of treatment. Minimum of treatment is what we need, right? But after the creative grounds become fertile again, we look to really gain for filmmakers in Western Sydney. We can see an opportunity there. It's just that we've got to go through this torment along the way, and that's the part I don't like. I don't like it. Like, I like. Don't get me wrong. I like to keep people safe and make sure that we're doing the right thing, but it's these extra tasks that we have to do to make sure that we're safe. We're in a state of crisis. It's like it's like this benign warfare situation. It's not, you know, it hasn't metastasized. We're not being bombed or anything like that. But we're in this state of flux and paranoia and fear. And that's not going to go away anytime soon, unfortunately.
No, not anytime soon.
Like, look at people in toilet paper. People lose their minds. You know.
I know, and it's not even 3-ply. It's like they're fighting over 1-ply toilet paper.
Yeah, what kind of a fight is that?
Why would you
bother for 1-ply? Fucking get a life, people.
Oh my gosh. I know. Like, don't you have anything like more important to do, like hoarding something else?
Well, we get our toilet paper delivered. I get Who Gives a Crap.
Good.
I do. We get the Who Gives a Crap.
Is that the Coles delivery thing?
No. This is a separate company. It's a
separate company. Yeah.
Yeah, it's these guys, they donate half of their proceeds to helping the third world.
Oh, that's great.
So it's recycled paper, and half their proceeds go to help disadvantaged countries.
Okay.
So
like building schools and like infrastructure.
Yeah, bridges,
like
schools, libraries, hospitals.
That's really
that,
great.
you know, digging wells, all this sort of stuff. So Who Gives a Crap's really great. And the good thing about it is you always get, like, because you get it delivered in a big box, and we always end up with a Who Gives a Crap pyramid somewhere in the house because you got so much toilet paper you don't know what to do with it because it's a 3-month supply, I think. Or was it maybe a 6-week supply?
Jeez, that's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
I thought they just give you like a simple 12 roll pack or something.
No, you get this big box and they
Oh my
rock it
god,
up.
that's so much.
Yeah, no, well, because I live in a two-story house, right? Like, so we'll have the downstairs toilet.
Yeah.
And we've got the upstairs one, so I'll actually throw them up to me. All right, and we build the pyramid up there, and we build the pyramid down here.
It's like, how many rolls do you have up there? We have 15. We have 12 down here. Okay, I'll throw some up.
Well, they're really cool. They put interesting wrappers. Some of them are like wrappers with 100,000s. No, one's what's it? 100,000s. One, you know what? Fairy bread. What do you call it?
Yeah, the 100,000 sprinkle thing.
Yeah. They'll make one that looks like that. They do one that looks like a donut. They do one that's red paper.
Oh.
And it's called the emergency roll.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
So we put that one in the car.
Emergency roll.
Yeah, we put the emergency roll in the car.
Oh, that's really great.
Yeah. I had this friend. We went camping, right? And
I love if you spent like 5 minutes talking about toilet paper.
But it's really cool. Meanwhile, like we're having a great time with some 3 to 6 ply, and people are out there rioting.
I know.
Over toilet paper.
In Chullora Woolies. It's great.
Yeah. And I'm like, we get our paper delivered, man. We're on the internet. I don't know if you've heard about the internet, but we're on the internet.
The top 3 most iconic Aussie moments would have to be Heath Ledger winning the Oscar. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, winning the Oscar for costume design, and the toilet paper fight in Woolies Chullora. Top 3 Aussie moments.
They're the top 3 Aussie moments.
Yeah.
You know, throw another dunny roll on the barbie.
What were you saying about camping? Something happened?
Yeah, we went camping, right? And we were unloading the car, and this person said to me, "Why in the hell have you got toilet paper in your car? It says emergency roll on it." I said, "But you never know when you need roll of toilet paper. And where we were staying ran out of toilet paper. And she goes, "You got any toilet paper?" I go, "I do. I have an emergency roll. I have an emergency roll in the car." She's like, "Yes, you do." So someone was criticising me for my emergency roll and asking me for my emergency roll.
Wait, the place you were staying at didn't have like spare rolls?
No, it was like we were camping though.
Oh right,
So
okay.
like the
Oh, you had an emergency toilet paper roll.
I had 2 emergency rolls.
That payoff was worth the wait.
Fucking oath. I can't believe I got a comment about it. She's
Was
like,
it-
why do you need this?
It's
I'm
like a Chekhov, like, you know, the Chekhov's gun, the trope where it's like beginning of the movie. I have an emergency toilet paper roll. Oh, put it away.
you don't need that.
Keeps getting brought up. Finale comes. I have a toilet paper roll.
Thank God, you are our saviour.
Save the day. Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good to be well equipped, I think.
Totally.
Yeah, and you can use this this emergency toilet paper roll thing in your life, in other, you know, always be well equipped. Always be well equipped.
Oh, yeah, or draw it as a reference for writing. I do all of these things. We've got like bug out packs. Like I've set up for Armageddon like a year ago.
What's a bug out pack?
Okay, so there is civil unrest and there's people like robbing houses and we got to get out of here real quick. I can load my car and be gone.
Oh, I've got a backpack.
Yeah.
So
Emergency backpack. So I've got everything I need in it.
yeah, I've got like rope. I've got like band-aids. I've got like
I've got antibiotics. I've got a
pliers,
lot.
yeah, yeah.
I've got everything.
Oh, you've got
everything.
antibiotics too.
Yeah, totally. Got antibiotics. Got
What?
everything. I've got a trunk of food. So
Insect repellent.
Yep.
Oh,
Insect
that's
repellent.
awesome.
Different ways to sleep. Different ways to protect yourself through from pestilence, from disease, injury. Means to collect food. So you know we got all.
You
of
never
that.
know. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I set it up, and Misty's going, "You're crazy. What are you doing this for?"
There are people in America who have entire basements worth of like stocked up, you know, shelves and.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this movie trailer. It was on do you subscribe to the Indie Movie Trailers YouTube channel?
Yeah.
They have this there was this trailer that they posted up like, I don't know, a year ago. Some American indie film, and it's about this guy who's hoarding up he's not hoarding, he's just stocking up on goods in his basement because he's paranoid about something happening. It's set in like the Midwest, in like Arizona or something. Oh wait, no, that's not Midwest. Like Ohio. So it's a very like Midwestern town. Yeah, Idaho, Iowa.
Iowa.
And this guy, you see a shot of Vegemite in his shelves, and it's like, I'm watching an independent movie trailer that's in a story set in like the Midwest in the US, and there's Vegemite on the shelf. It's like, oh,
They don't eat Vegemite though. Do they eat Vegemite?
I guess
They must, right?
They're married to like an expat or something.
Do you want to know do you know the story of Vegemite? You know why Vegemite is Vegemite?
It was an accident.
No, well, it kind of is. It kind of is.
No, what is it?
So when they make beer, and they're making beer in Australia, right? They have vats that make beer, and they get slag that happens from the beer production, and that slag is Vegemite. It's full of protein. It's all the protein left. It's a protein byproduct of beer creation.
Oh.
Yeah. So they found a way to market that and sell it. Because if you eat Vegemite for the first time, you're like, what is this? But then you go, Vegemite's pretty good because it gives you a boost. It's good because it's got a good protein boost in Vegemite.
I didn't know you had.
Yeah, it's beer slag. That's what it is. Well, I imagine it's not that now. They just make Vegemite now. But back in the day, it was just the slag from vats of beer creation. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
That's, my goodness.
Because you had drink beer, get a hangover, wake up, eat some Vegemite. You know, circle
Have
of
more
life.
beer.
We have hair of the dog. Have you ever had hair of the dog? You know what hair of the dog is?
What's that?
You've never heard this?
Is that an idiom or something?
Yeah, like hair of the dog is like when you've got really drunk the night before and you have a beer in the morning. Because it's hair of the dog. You're like, oh. And then the beer will perk you up. And it's called hair of the... Because it's called hair of the dog because you imagine like eating hair of a dog. In other countries they call it...
No, I don't imagine that at all. No, I don't think about doing that often.
Oh, no, eating hair.
Of a dog, no.
Of a dog. I've never thought about that either. It's just a saying that we say, right? What was I talking to? I was talking to someone the other day.
So your person, the person you were talking to, they have beer in the morning when they get
I've done it.
Oh.
I've totally done it.
Do you do it all the time? Or like,
no, only when I get really, really drunk.
So you have you just have like just a beer and then just try
in the morning, yeah. Have you ever woken up with a hangover and you're like, oh, I feel horrible? To get over that horribleness, a beer will fix it. It's called Hair of the Dog.
Insider secrets.
Yeah, that's how you get over it. But that's how you become an alcoholic as well, because now you're drinking in the fucking morning, aren't you? And then hangovers aren't a thing anymore. I just do a podcast and I drink. Calm down, Ross. Man, I think we've definitely reached our conclusion. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you. It was amazing to be here. It was really great to just catch up and talk about all sorts of things.
Man, we got deep, didn't we? we got right in there. But if anyone wants to see this helpful content that you've been doing lately, where can they go to find you?
So just go on YouTube and type DK, because that's my name, Daryl Kipp. So DK and then space Bondad, Bondad, DK Bondad, and then you'll find my videos there. So yeah, just have a gander, enjoy, and take dumps and notes. If you write down hate comments, it's fine. I'm used to it. And yeah.
That's okay. We all get those, man. Just don't read them. Don't read the hate comments. Read the positive, or not the positive ones, the ones that are a call for positive action.
Yes.
That's another way to put it.
Yep.
But guys, you've been watching the Pagey Train. Don't forget to subscribe to the Pagey Train. And if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to hit the notifications bell right here. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple iTunes or Apple Podcasts, that's fantastic. You can also find us on Anchor. And you've been watching the Pagey Train, and we'll see you next time. Sonic boom. Oh, we're done, Daryl. We're done.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do some shots or what?
Yes. So what do we do in the shots?
No, I got Siri showing up. No, I was talking about